The fire ants have mounted their first attack upon the great American bullfrog, Leaderbait scatisby. This Solenopsis invicta fire ant queen has landed on the edge of a swamp. She may be far from her native habitat, but the fire ants are well known for their ability to adapt. Competition for food will be fierce. She will need to raise an army quickly to compete with the local predators. Shadow of a great titan to the north. An American bullfrog. This large female has found the perfect spot to feed. Sheltered by foliage and in the path of many wandering insects and smaller amphibians, she has no reason to move on. To survive in this environment, some have evolved to supplement their mineral diet by trapping and dissolving invertebrate prey.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
As the sun sets, the local amphibians begin to emerge from moist crevices near the water's edge. Lone invertebrates will be picked off quickly. The ants should travel in numbers or not at all. At night, eastern narrow-mouthed toads patrol above ground looking for food.
The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood.
A narrow-mouthed toad has burrowed into the nest. It may be small for a toad, but its appetite for ants is insatiable. Secretions from its skin burn any that manage to escape its projectile tongue.
The ants must fight.
An ant has been devoured by Aeorichea quadradicitata, a dwarf salamander. It is nimble, fast, and slender enough to wiggle through tight crevices in search of food. The fire ants have encountered a tribe of Monomorium minimum black ants. These tiny little ants may seem feeble, but the Invicta colony would do well to treat them with caution. Although primarily scavengers, they are armed with powerful chemical secretions and have been known on occasion to invade fire ant nests. Defenseless caterpillars exposed on the underside of leaves are a welcome snack for the passing fire ants. The colony should take advantage while it can. Few meals. The Monomoria minimum colony is almost defeated. The Invictor army must press their advantage. The little black ants fought to the last to defend their queen. Now the Invictor colony will enjoy the spoils of war. Defenseless larvae from the vanquished colony will be carried home and fed to the victor's own hungry brood. The ants have set upon a green lynx spider, Puccetia viridans. She prefers to hunt on pitcher plants, but out in the open, she loses her advantage. Far from defenseless, however, when threatened she can spit venom up to 30 centimeters from her fangs. The ants have been attracted to secretions of nectar produced by a yellow pitcher plant. Even in small numbers, the fire ants are menacing, but in large numbers, they are virtually unstoppable. A wingless parasitic wasp, Dasimutilla occidentalis, more commonly known as the red velvet ant, has wandered into Invictor territory. Although not on the hunt for fire ants, it will defend itself if threatened. Armed with an extremely powerful sting and displaying bright warning stripes, most creatures give it a wide berth. A curious ant has ventured onto a Venus flytrap in search of nectar. If it brushes a wasp-manted fly, Climachala brunea, has descended from her perch into the path of the ants. Unrelated to true mantids, her spiked raptorial forelegs are a perfect example of convergent evolution. By linking themselves together, the fire ants have formed a pontoon out of their own bodies. It stretches from their home territory to a previously unreachable island, giving them access to The fire ants have mounted their first attack upon the great American bullfrog, Litabates catesbianus. The brave frontline soldiers are quickly crushed and eaten. They must surround and swarm the enormous creature to stand any chance of defeating it. The big-headed ants now have a super soldier caste to justify their name. At huge economic cost to the colony, these frenzied champions have been raised for one purpose: to crush the fire ants. Overwhelmed with burning venom, the bullfrog finally succumbs to the might of the fire ants. Utterly spent, it collapses on the hillside, leaving the victors free to consume its body. Unbeknownst to the ants, the presence of the bullfrog was keeping many other local amphibians at bay. The power vacuum it left behind is attracting a host of salamanders and frogs eager to take its place. The ants should go to ground quickly and prepare for the imminent chaos. As the anarchy above ground settles and with the invaders crushed, a new order is established. This is now the domain of the fire ant.